Hi there, my name is Eric, also known as Vapor Chase on YouTube and Minefield in the forums, and I'm here for Vast Vapor to talk to you today about batteries and battery maintenance, specifically how to take care of your batteries, how to charge them, and so on. Batteries are pretty simple things. You charge them up, they work for a while, when they die, you charge them up again. Now, there are kind of ways to extend the life of your battery, though, and we're going to talk about that today, as well as some different types of batteries. This first part is going to be about your Ego style batteries, your 510 or 808 style batteries. I got an Ego C Twist here. These are pretty simple. Of course, you probably already know how to charge them, but I do have a charger here. And pretty simple the way they work. This is just a standard USB charger. You just screw them in, like so. There you go. So that it's on the end of your battery. You plug it in to a power source, which I do have here. I got a portable power source here, so I'm just going to plug this in like that. And when I plug it in, of course this is fully charged, so that's not going to turn red, but normally it would turn red and this would start charging. And the same goes for your 510 styles. You might also have something like a corded version right here. That might be what you're using. Doesn't matter. But particularly I want to talk about how to care for the batteries, when to charge them effectively. Now you might think that you want to use them up before you charge them, but unlike the old days of the good old nickel-cadmium batteries where they would develop a memory effect if you didn't use them all the way down and then charge them fully before you use them again, the modern-day lithium-ion batteries don't have that memory effect. They will not develop that memory effect if you charge them when they're half full, when they're all the way dead, or when they're even partly discharged. But one thing they do like is to be charged. They love being charged. In fact, the more you charge them, the longer they're going to live. There is what you might consider a logarithmic relationship between the depth of the discharge, which means how empty it is when you put it on to charge, and the length of your battery. And the relationship is basically that the more you discharge it, the shorter your overall lifespan of the battery is going to be. And so ideally, if you want to get the longest life out of your battery, the general rule of thumb is whenever you have a chance to charge them, you will want to do so. If you can put it on to charge, even if you've only been using it for an hour or 2 hours, if you have an opportunity and it's convenient for you to do so, to put it on to charge, then you might want to do so because it will extend the length of your battery, the overall lifespan of your battery. Because if you discharge it a little bit, say 10%, you can extend the overall lifespan of your battery by 20 to 30%. Whereas if you continually just charge it until it tells you it needs to be charged, then you're going to reduce the lifespan of your battery. On average, most people probably put them on to charge when they're half full or less, and that's fine. That's pretty average. You're still going to get a couple of years life out of your batteries at least. But if you really want to take care of them and you really want to make sure that you're going to get the longest life out of your batteries, best idea is charge it whenever you've got a chance to and whenever it's convenient for you to do so, because that will ensure your batteries are going to last a good long time. Now, I do want to talk about the different types of batteries as well, because there are a lot of different devices that take external batteries, unlike things like your 808s, your 510s, your Egos, things like that. These are all self-contained units, and you put the whole devices on to charge when you need to. But there are devices out there that take an external battery like this, where you have to unscrew the end, slip a battery in there, and then get it going. And there are a number of different batteries that you are going to need if you plan to have a number of different types of mods. I'm going to start with the smallest one. The smallest one is called a 10440. This is a Joyetech battery. This is actually designed for the Joyetech eCab, which takes these 10440 batteries. They're roughly equivalent to your AAA batteries that you get in the stores, but keep in mind the store batteries, the AAA batteries, and most of those rechargeables are not going to work in place of these particular rechargeables, because most of those batteries that you buy in the stores are only 1.5 volts. Whereas these batteries, these lithium ions that are specially designed for these purposes, these are 3.7 volts. So you're going to need to use these specialty batteries like the 10440s and so on, rather than the types you can buy in the stores. Now, these are the smallest, and of course they have the lowest charge. This is actually a 360 milliamp battery. You can get varying charge levels or capacities in different batteries depending on the brand and the type of battery that there is. Now, some very small mods, like I said, the Joyetech eCab. There's also the Precise P10, which is a very high-end, fancy stainless steel mod. Also takes these. The next one up from that is going to be the 14500. This is roughly equivalent to your AA batteries, but again, AA batteries you buy in the stores are 1.5 volts. These are 3.7. And this is an AW brand, 14500. I've got a mod here that uses it. These are designed for the smaller mods that are maybe a little bit bigger than your Ego type batteries. In fact, these batteries are just about the same diameter as an Ego battery. So of course the mods are going to be a little bit bigger because it has to go inside the mod, so they usually go in. And in most cases, in most mods, when you buy them, the nipple side, or the little button top there, that's going to go in first, like that. Now, that may not be the case. Some of them might work either way. Some may require the button to be outside, but usually you'll get instructions as to which way they're supposed to go in. The next size up is going to be the 14650. This is like a AA, but taller. This is much taller. And this is actually where I want to talk about something here. The difference between what are called IMR batteries and protected batteries. Protected batteries, and I'm going to just show you this really quick. This is another type of battery, but protected batteries have a special circuit board on them. And the circuit board is designed to regulate the power discharge and the power level on the batteries. When you have an all-mechanical mod such as this, these do not have regulation. They're just mechanical mods. They run straight off the battery. There's no special circuitry inside to make sure that they discharge evenly or that it stops working after the battery reaches a certain level. So generally you probably want to use like say a protected battery. I'm using an unprotected. The IMRs here are unprotected. They do not have that circuit board. But they're also what are called safe chemistry batteries, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the protected batteries have a circuit board, and what they're designed to do is prevent the batteries from being overcharged. So if you put it on a charger, then you don't want it to get too much charge or they could explode. And one of the things about lithium-ion batteries is they don't like to be drained all the way. That's another problem with lithium ions, is you have to make sure that you don't drain them completely. Now, most devices like your Egos and your 510s and your 808s, like these here, they have protection circuitry in them to prevent that from happening. But if you're running in a mechanical mod such as this with an unprotected battery, it's not going to protect you from that. And the problem is, if you do discharge an unprotected battery all the way so that it's completely dead, it's dead forever. It will die. But protected batteries such as this prevent that from happening because the circuit board is designed to prevent catastrophic events like overcharge or undercharge. So that's really... Oh, and they're also designed to prevent too much current from being drawn from this at one time. So if you, are trying to pull a whole bunch of current and run a device at a high power level that this can't handle, it's designed to kind of shut down the circuit and prevent it from working if it detects that. So that's what these protected batteries are for. And this is just a Trustfire. It's a protected battery. I wanted to show you that 18650 because this one is actually a hybrid battery. It's a high drain battery, which I'll talk about. But it's got, you can see this metal strip. That is the metal strip that runs from the circuit board on top down to the negative terminal on the bottom so that it completes the circuit and makes an electrical connection. These protected batteries have it. They're just usually underneath the jacket here, whereas this one here is actually exposed. So that's why I wanted to show you that. Beyond the 14650, this is also available in a slightly shorter version of 14500. Actually, that is what I showed you, was the 14500 here. In this mechanical mod, you can see it's a fair bit shorter. Same diameter, it's just shorter. You'll find that's a running theme with a lot of these batteries. Because next you've got a 16340 battery. This is half the size of a 16650 battery, which I do not have to show you. This is designed either for small mods or for use in stacking applications where you use two batteries instead of just one, which is what some mods may either support or require. And that doesn't really have an equivalent in like store-bought batteries. Next you're going to move up to 18650s. Actually, no, sorry, 18350s. These are half-sized 18650s. Here, for comparison, is an 18650. Here's an 18350. They're half-size, again for use in either mini mods or stacked in a device such as, for example, if I can just pull it out here. Where did I put it? I just had it because I pulled these batteries straight from it. Well, no matter, I can put it in here. For example, here's a mod. This is a mod. This is a extendable mod. You drop them. Oops. There goes my battery. Pardon me. A little unprofessional today. You can stack them in like this, same side up, and then you put this on top and screw it down, and now it is ready to be used in a stacked configuration. I don't recommend using that type of configuration in a mechanical mod. It's best to use it in a mod that has safety protections built in, because that is it's just safer to use them that way. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, here's a VMAX, a Smoketek VMAX. That's a much more common device. This is designed to use two 18350s. Now the new ZMAX can use either or. It can use two 18350s or one 18650. But once you put the batteries in, of course, it turns on, and there you go. It's ready to go. So that's an example of a mod that takes stacked batteries. Now moving on, of course, we've got the 18650, and I did show you this particular one. This is another one. This is a standard protected. It's a Trustfire. This is a protected 18650, and the one on the left is an IMR unprotected. Now let's talk about that IMR protected business. Protected, well, let's start with basic batteries. Basic batteries are able to deliver a certain amount of power, which is expressed in the form of amps or amperage. They are able to put out a certain amount of power at once, and that's referred to as its C rating. Now, a battery like this, let's just say, is 1C. Okay, so it's able to put out X amount of power. Okay, but it's protected, so it's safe to use in mechanical mods. You have no trouble with that. However, then you've got your IMRs, or your high drain batteries as they're referred to. These are designed to output a lot more power. This is what's referred to as a 10C battery, which means it can put out 10 times the amount of power at once than this can, which means if you're going to use it in an application like a variable voltage mod or a variable wattage mod, where it's going to require a high amperage draw, so it's going to have to deliver 3 amps or 4 amps, then the IMRs are going to be able to do it, whereas your protected batteries like this are not. That's basically, without getting into too much technical detail, the difference between a protected battery and an IMR battery. Now, as for charging, of course, those batteries, you're going to be using a standard charger. You can use something like, for example, this is a standard Trustfire 2-bay charger, and of course, when you want to charge, you just slip them in here like that, and if this were plugged in, the light would turn red and it would start to charge. However, you can also get a little fancier. There's a lot of different types of chargers out there. For example, here is a Trustfire 4-bay charger, and this has 4 independent bays here where you can just stick your batteries in. I can say put this in here like that, Oops, it goes in the other way. And it has sliding slots here so that you can actually fit in different sizes of batteries. See there, it fits an 18650, and I can put my 10440 in here like that. And oh, that's already charged, so it doesn't really need to be. So we'll take that out. I can put my 14500 in here. Oh, wait. No, actually, yeah, there we go. My 14340 or 14350 is in there. I got a Panasonic here, which I think is already fully charged. There we go. Oh, it's, yeah, could use a little bit of a charge. And of course, I've got my here's another type of 18350 right here, which I can just put in there like that. So it can charge a bunch of different types of batteries at once, as can, of course, the standard. Bring that back here. This works the same way. It's got the spring-loaded connections there. Of course, it can only handle 2 batteries at once. So you can get different types of chargers depending on how many batteries you've got, of course, and how many different types of batteries you plan to be using. There's other types like the recently popular X-Tar charger, which uses spacers to allow you to charge different sized batteries. And you can get fast chargers. I know the Pila charger is another popular one among enthusiasts. But that's basically how that all works. And you can get any kind of chargers. They usually range around, you know, the small chargers are typically about $10. This cost me about 20. The Pila charger will be about 40 or 50. X-Tar charger is about 30. So it can range depending on, you know, depending on your needs. So that is pretty much, I think, all that needs to be covered here with regard to battery care and the different types of batteries and maintenance and so on. So I think that pretty much covers it. But of course, if you have any other questions or comments, of course, you can respond on this video here, or you can talk to the fine folks at Fast Vapor, and they'll gladly help you out if you have any other further questions as to what batteries you might need for a particular mod, or if you have any other pertinent questions relating to that as well, or anything else you might have as well. So that is pretty much it. Thank you for watching. My name is Eric. This has been For Vast Vapor. So happy vaping.